Buongiorno, everybody, and hello from sunny Sicily. It may as well be, I don't know, June. It's so beautiful and sunny today. We are here in Cefalu, which is the very end of my Sicilian Pleasures tour. This tour I designed specifically as that tour for people who've been to Sicily before, but didn't get to do all the smaller things, the lesser known things, destinations that are a little bit more off the beaten path. And above all, it's the destinations that I think are just the most enjoyable. So we've spent the last 8 days eating good food, of course, drinking excellent wine, enjoying the company of fantastic people, because I have to say, the people who take my tours are absolutely amazing. They're so much fun, and we just really enjoyed each other's company, and the weather's been perfect, so couldn't have been better. I think that we got very, very lucky with all of this. So oddly enough, this funny little tour that was just a little passion project, it's sold out. And it ran perfectly. So I can guarantee you I'm going to do it again next year in 2023. And actually, if you want to come with us in September, my friend Susanna is going to run this tour. And she helped me design all of this. So so anyway, it's waiting for if you want to come. But I thought today what I would do is take you for a little stroll around this beautiful town of Cefalu. We are just outside of Palermo by about 1 hour. It takes an hour on the train to get here. And it's just a very sweet little beach town. There's not a big site except for maybe one. The cathedral is very pretty, so I thought I'd walk you over to the cathedral. And above all, it's just the place you come to get your fill of fishing village Sicily. I would say if you have been to the Cinque Terre, you certainly would feel a little bit of the feeling that you get in the Cinque Terre, but absolutely 100% less touristed than the Cinque Terre. So for me, if I were to pick a favorite seaside village, maybe even in Italy, this would be certainly at the top of my list. So let's have a little look around. Over here, we've got the men of the town have been out fishing. This is the second or third guy I've seen come out here and try his hand. Not entirely. Oh, he caught something. Little teeny fish. That's what they're after, is these little BB fish. And you can see over here there is a nice broad expanse of white sand beach, which here in Sicily and even Italy general is hard to find. Most beaches in Italy are rocky, but this is all the way down to the end. Beautiful white sand. Those are some of my guests there at the end of the dock. And here are some people who are definitely not Italian out swimming in the water. I can guarantee you they're absolutely foreigners, because Italians are all wearing their piumini, their down coats right now. And I would assume that they're looking at these people thinking that they're all going to get a digestive disorder from swimming in cold water like this. This is the ancient town here, as you can see, of Cefalu. So this town is, like everything else in Sicily, layers upon layers of Carthaginian, Byzantine, Norman, Arab, and Spanish, on and on. Many different cultures have come here. But the most beautiful thing here is Norman, and I'll take you to see that in a minute or two. So let's just go for a little stroll and enjoy the weather. It's about maybe 65 degrees today, so a little bit chilly in my opinion for a swim. But that's okay. The perfect time to come here if you're a beach lover is to come in June, starting in June. That's when the water gets warm. Cefalu is very, very popular for beachgoers in Italy, especially during Ferragosto, which is the 15th of August holiday. So in the past, the first time I came here, this beach was actually full of actual fishing boats because they used to fish a lot from this port. They now fish from a port on the backside of the Rocca. So you don't see the old fishing boats here so much anymore. A little altar, because why not? So if you're wondering what it smells like, it's got that lovely salty air, but also mixed with the scent of spring flowers. This is kind of fun. There's a little path out here that goes along the breakwater, and you can take it in the opposite direction as well, along the open sea. So what we're looking at in the distance, you can see a little lump in the distance. That's the Aeolian Islands. That looks to me like maybe Stromboli. So we're just down, oh, you can see two of them actually. You can see two of the Aeolian Islands out there. So from here in the summertime, they actually have boat excursions to the Aeolian Islands. So that could be one of my projects for 2023, is doing an Aeolian Islands tour. I'm thinking about it, even just a week staying in Lipari, but stay tuned for that. I saw some people with beach umbrellas earlier. I felt like they were a little bit optimistic, but it has turned out to be a nice day. Can you imagine yourself just sitting at one of these cafes with a plate of pasta, glass of chilled wine? Not bad living at all. Love the Nana up there. This is a convent, actually, that you can stay in. Yeah, love that Nana. That's fantastic. Okay, so let's have a little walk up the street here. I have noticed in Sicily that a lot of towns have been hit hard by the pandemic. Lots of shops closed, but Cefalu survived pretty well. Not a lot of closed shops here. Here's our Sicilian flag with the Trinacria in the middle. The Trinacria is here you go. Triskellis is the other word. That is the symbol of Sicily. The three legs maybe are referring to the 3 points of the island. And the head in the middle was added by the Greeks. It's supposed to be Medusa. All of the restaurants on this side of the street here, over here, these are all sea view terraces. So you go in and it looks like a humble little restaurant. But once you get to the back, see, you can see right through. They all have terraces hovering over the ocean, which is lovely. Cute new places. This is a place I've never seen before. Looks pretty fancy pants. This is the classic here, Porticciolo, which I've eaten at many times. It's been here a gazillion years. And it's a classic fish place here in Cefalu with a terrace over the water. It's usually where I bring my guests, but tonight we're actually going to try something different. We're going to go eat at a farmhouse up above town with a beautiful view of Cefalu. So I always like to experiment and try different things. This is a very good gelato shop, Squadju. They have some unusual flavors that maybe you've never seen before. The typical balconies of Cefalu. Yeah, see, terrazza sul mare. All of them have the terrazza sul mare. And what's on the menu today? Spaghetti con ricci. So that is sea urchin. Pasta con le sarde, which is fennel, sardines, and breadcrumbs, and pine nuts and raisins. It's pretty good. I love these little alleyways here. So originally, Cefalu, part of the planning here was done by the Arabs, and they made these sort of narrow shoot roads like this as a way to harness the breeze and create a natural form of air conditioning. So many cute shops. This is one that's like everywhere. It's not Sicilian, but everybody loves them. I don't know if I could pull off dresses that colorful. So if you're sitting at home and you haven't traveled in 2 years, I hope that you can feel a little bit like you're here with me now. Sitting in the sun with your spritz. Beautiful sea view out that way. Or maybe you're taking a stroll with me and you're browsing some of the pretty shops, looking for a new scarf, or thinking about getting a pizza somewhere. There are quite a number of tourists here. I'm surprised. Cefalu is busier than other places that we've been, but we are approaching Easter. Oh boy, I got a really big whiff of fish coming from here, so grilled fish. And now we're going to head up into town to the main square, to the Duomo. Look, it's laundry day. You can see the laundry everywhere. The mechanic, it looks like, A motorcycle rider lives here. All the little balconies in Cefalu are so cute. My guests have been showing me all of their fun little treasures that they've bought in the last day, because there's lots of really cute shops here. Jewelry shops. Cute little, there's the puppets, the pupi of Sicily. Lots of typical themes. Cefalu is a fun city to come to. I would say, though, it's not maybe the best place to come really outside of season, because it's pretty quiet, and if you're not going to the beach, it's not maybe quite as fun. But there's always nice shops to look at, and especially on the weekends, it's really busy, and there's quite a lot of good restaurants. Here's a hat shop selling the traditional cupola, they're called. You see those funny little hats? Yeah. So you can come here and you can get a traditional cupola made for you. Yeah, and of course you're going to see the tacky Godfather t-shirts. Not as much anymore. I used to see more of that in the past. Less and less often do I see people with those Godfather t-shirts. So maybe we are changing the impression of what Sicily is. So I am heading up to the Duomo Square right now because I'm going to get myself a granita. And I've brought my watercolors. I'm just going to have a nice seat and enjoy this beautiful view. And here is what I'm going to paint. So this is the Arab Norman Cathedral of Cefalu. And this was done by the father of the guy who did Monreale. This is Roger II. And on the inside there are some beautiful Byzantine mosaics. Oh. That was bizarre. So up above you can see the Rocca. You can hike up there to the tree line, and there's a Greek temple up there and a really beautiful view. I'm not doing that today, I'm feeling a little lazy. So this is called an Ecclesia Munita, which means church fortress. So if you can imagine, these fortifications up here were for soldiers, and down here as well, to protect the church, because it was used both as a garrison as well as a church. It's very practical, you know, why not? Church fortress. And back here we've got the main square. Look at that, a nice sunny lunch. So I think I'm going to sit down and have myself a granita, the last one for now, because tomorrow I'm going to head back to the United States. It has been an absolutely marvelous trip here. I've done 4 tours in a row. First I did Florence, then a week in Rome, then Sicily highlights, and now Sicilian pleasures. And so it's time to go home, recharge, do some laundry, and then I'll be back at it in a few weeks, going to Morocco, which of course is a favorite destination of everybody. But it has been absolutely lovely here in Sicily. So I'll have some more pictures for you later tonight, because we're going to go up and get a nice view over the top of Cefalu. But if Sicily is even something you're considering, this is a great place to come. Less expensive than mainland Italy, very, very welcoming, and it is 150% sunnier here than probably where you are, especially where I'm from in Seattle. So I'm getting my vitamin D. I'm going to go sit down and get my vitamin D and get my base layer of tan on. So I hope wherever you are, you're having a beautiful sunny day, just like we're having here in Cefalu. So we'll talk to you again later. Ciao for now.